welcome everyone to the 10 must-haves for Google Slides. Thank you for joining the Lunch and Learn today. We're going to go ahead and get started. I did put the link to this handout in the chat. I'll send it one more time if anyone else needs to access. Okay, the first must-have we're going to talk about are templates for your slides. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a new tab. I'm going to go to the waffle in the top right corner with our different Google apps. I'm going to open up Slides. Now you have an option here. You can choose from recent presentations, you can start with a blank presentation, or you can head to the template gallery. I really like the idea of templates because it gives you a starting point for design, for colors, for text, and you can edit it. So we have some for education, lesson plan, book report, field trip, science fair, different ones. We also have some personal ones and work ones. And even if the topic doesn't sound like what you're trying to accomplish, you can still use that design as a starting point and make edits. So I'm actually going to start with the book report. I'm going to open that one up. I like the color scheme here, and it gives me a good starting point. I like the different blues and the different images, and so I'm going to start with that one. Our second must-have is going to be how to import slides. So we're going to import some slides into this presentation. So if you're a person who's really comfortable with Microsoft and you're just now working on Google, no fear, you can take your PowerPoints that you've already worked on and import them into your Google Slides. So we're going to go to the File menu. Before we import, I also wanted to show you that the first button here is new. So if you wanted to make a new presentation, you can do a blank one, or you can also go straight to the template gallery from here. Going down a little bit, this is where I can import slides. So when I click on that, it goes to my recent Google Slides that I've looked at. So I can import other Google Slides into my Google Slides. I can go to my drive or share drives and look for Google Slides there. But if you wanted to upload a PowerPoint that you've used before, you can drag the file onto here, or you can browse your computer to look for one. So I'm going to open up a PowerPoint I've used before called Would You Rather. It's a strategy, a good opening activity that you could use for, I've used it for in class with students, but also with presentations with other adults. So I have 7 slides in that PowerPoint, so I can choose to select all the slides. I can clear that out. I can just select certain ones that I want to choose. I can also choose if I want to keep the original theme or not. So I'm going to go ahead and once you make your selections, you click import. And it's going to put these slides in here. Now I kept the theme the same so they look just like they looked in my PowerPoint. Sometimes there may be a few features that are different, but most of the time it transfers very well. So I'm actually going to drag this slide down just so I have my Would You Rather slides first. And my next must-have is how you can share your slides. There's a few different ways to do that. We're going to start with the File menu. We're going to keep moving down to share with others. And this is where you can add other collaborators to your document if you want to. If I wanted to choose someone from my team to collaborate with, I can select their name or I can type in anyone's name, someone not on your campus, not on your team. And you can also choose their role. If you want them to be an editor, a viewer, or a commenter. So if you wanted them to review something for you and just give you feedback, you could do commenter. If you wanted them just to proofread it, you could do viewer. Now, one other option is if you can add an expiration date where they only have access for a certain amount of time. So if I just wanted Allison to have access until December 31st, I could do that. I can also choose a different date and time. Or if they can always have access, I can just delete that and not worry about it. I don't have to add that in. Now, if you want to share this presentation or assignment with others, this is what you would want to change here. If you're going to mass send it out, you would want to change it to Goose Creek CISD or anyone with a link. So for example, the handouts that I shared with y'all, I can go to File, share with others. I can also hit the share button in the top right corner. It's a shortcut to it. And I put anyone with the link as a viewer. So I shared the link with y'all. I've emailed the link out. I'm going to continue to do that, and anyone can access it. But they're a viewer not an editor or a commenter, so they can't change my work, but they can still view the document. So that's one important thing that you want to be able to do is share your documents. I'm going to go back to my book report. Now we talked about how you can import a PowerPoint or other Google Slides, but you can also download your Google Slides as a PowerPoint. So this is my next must-have. It's also in the File menu. We're going to keep moving down, and you're going to go to Download. Now there's a few ways you can download it. The very first option is PowerPoint. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and show you. It's going to download. We're going to open it. And here you go. You got your PowerPoint. I'm going to enable editing. Now, when I do that, it looks like this. And you're like, oh my God, my slides are so tiny. It's no problem. You're just going to drag this down, the speaker notes, and you can also drag this over and bam, you got your normal PowerPoint. So again, the slides, they transfer really well. There may be some transitions or animations, those details you have to update, but for the most part, it's going to look the same. So if you needed a Google Slides document, but you needed to save it in a shared drive on your desktop, on your computer, you're able to download it as a Microsoft PowerPoint like that. Another option is to download it as a PDF. Okay, you can do that. You can also download a current slide as a PNG, an image, or a JPEG. So those are there's some other options, but those are the main ones: PowerPoint, PDF, and then an image. Those are all very helpful. So there are ways to move back and forth from Microsoft to Google. Next, we're going to talk about how you can move your document. So this is our last thing in the File menu: move and add shortcuts. We're going to talk about both of those. I'm going to start with move. So if I'm in this document and I want to move it, it tells me where it's located. So currently this is located in my drive. When I start a new document, it defaults to your drive. It gives you a little arrow here where you can open up your drive in a new tab. And here we can see my book report. We can also see the would you rather slides that we looked at earlier. So here's my book report. Now, if I wanted to move this from here, they give me some suggestions. This is a newer feature. And so these are folders that I've been working in recently, but I can also choose any starred features if you have any items starred or favorited, or I can choose all locations. I can look at my drive, my shared drives, and decide where I want to move it. This happens a lot where we move documents into our team drive that we want to share with everyone. Or you may want to move it into another folder in your drive. I'm going to move the book report into my Google folder, and I can click move straight into it, or I can go into there and see if there's another folder I want to move it into. So it gives you a few options. You can also click the three dots and say, this is not a helpful suggestion. Don't suggest it to me, and then they'll stop. So I'm going to go ahead and move it to my Google folder. So now in my drive, my book report disappeared, but it's in my Google folder now. So I'm going to open up my Google folder, and here's my book report. And so now it's in that new location. You can also drag your documents to another folder or to another drive. That's another option, or up here. You can also right click, go to organize, and hit move there. So there's a few different ways that you can move documents. Going back to my book report, there's also another option. I can add a shortcut. Adding a shortcut is good when you want the file in more than one place. So if I hit add shortcut, it gives me the exact same options as before: suggested, starred, locations, but I'm not moving it, I'm just making a shortcut. This works well if you move something into a team drive, but you still want to have easy access in your own drive, but you want it to be the exact same document. You can add a shortcut. So right now, my book report is in my Google folder, but maybe I want a shortcut to my drive because I'm working on it a lot. I want it right in front of me when I open my drive. And so here's a shortcut. You know it's a shortcut because it has a little arrow right here pointing to the slides. So it's located in my Google folder, but it's also here. When I open it, same document. Whatever edits you make, it's in that document. Now say I finish this book report, I'm good, I'm done with it, and I don't want it listed here anymore. I can right click it and I can move it to the trash. Now remember, I'm just moving the shortcut to the trash, the shortcut, not the document itself. So you just want to be careful with that you're deleting the shortcut, not the actual document. I took away the shortcut, but when I go to my Google folder, my book report is still there. Okay. If you want to hear more about moving documents and shortcutting documents, I am doing a session on Google Drive organization, and we'll go more into that then. Okay, we're halfway through our must-haves. Now we're on the back side of the handout, and we're going to talk about different things that you can put into your Google Slides. So we're done with the File menu, and I'm going to move over to the Insert menu. So these are some of the key things, in my opinion, that you can insert into your Google Slides. The first is images. Images have a lot of impact, whether it's an assignment for students or a presentation to other adults or students. You want to be able to add images. You can upload from your computer, you can search the web, get it from your drive. So searching the web, I love because it has a Google search engine built right in. So you can search for an image of, say, pizza. It's lunchtime, so I'm thinking food. You can find images of pizza and you can insert that right in here. Okay. And you can replace the image, gives you all the same options again. You can format the image, and then you can also animate the image. So it gives you a lot of different options there. Now, a new feature here is GIFs and stickers, or GIFs and stickers, whichever you call it. Okay, that's a new feature. And so it's the same concept, except it's GIFs. So let me find a pizza GIF, which has a little more impact, right, than just my static picture of my pizza here. So now it's like, ooh, or I could add both in, right? Double the impact. It's making me really hungry. So that's an awesome feature with the images. And of course, it gives you the same options, whether it's a sticker or an image up here. Okay, next thing I want to add in, I'm actually going to go to the next slide, and let's talk about inserting a video. A video can be really great, whether it's for instruction or for a presentation that you want to share. And you can either search straight in YouTube, or you can look in your Google Drive if you have a video from there. So let's search for, let's do water cycle, changed up. No pizza videos. So here's a water cycle video. I'm going to go ahead and select it. Of course, you want to watch any videos in their entirety that you're going to show to students or adults. So it inserts my video right in. And what I really love is that it gives you some options on how to play the video. So it automatically shows the format options on the right side. And you have a few different options. You can have it to where it plays when you click, like your mouse or your keyboard or a presenter remote. It can play automatically, which means when it gets to that slide, it just starts playing, or play manually, where you go and you have to press play. I personally like play on click because I'm already clicking through my slides. It's just another click to go forward. So I personally like that. You can also choose the start and end time of the video. So you could do a portion of the video, not the entire video. Or if there's something at the beginning that you don't really care for, you can have it start at, 5 seconds instead of 0 seconds. So there's also some different options on just borders and position and how you can do that. But right here, you definitely want to check this part out to make your video really on point. Okay, another thing that we can insert, and I'm going to go to this slide here. Another thing that we're able to insert is a link. Links can be really important, especially with an assignment if you want kids to visit different options for places for research or activities, things like that. Links are also good if you are going to share this presentation and you want your participants to access something else. So just like in docs and sheets, you insert a link this way. You can type the text, you can paste the link, you can also highlight a word and then insert the link. You can also right click and link. So there's a few different ways to do it. I also want you to notice that you can link to other slides. And so that's a little bonus feature. It depends on if it applies to your presentation. I've done that on one of my presentations before where I had to keep going back to a main screen. And so I just wanted you to know that's another feature in there. So those are my 3 favorite things to insert where I feel like you'd have a lot of impact with your presentation. Now, speaking of presentation, whenever you're ready to present, if you just want to present your slideshow, you can click slideshow and then there's your slides. But there's another feature that has a lot of impact. If you hit this down arrow here, you have a presenter view. When that happens, this is your presenter view and it's showing you both right here. You have your slides And so if I move my presenter view over here, you just see the slide. So if you were doing this on a computer where you have two screens, or if you had an iPad and you're presenting from two different devices, you would be able to put the presenter part on that. It shows what slide you're on, but the super cool thing is it has some audience tools and you can start a new question and answer session. So it puts a link up here that your participants can go to and they can submit questions and they show up here. So if I have my iPad, I can see the questions popping up, but the whole, audience can't. You can turn it off, you can turn it on. You can also choose it to accept questions from Goose Creek or from anyone. Now, if you're dealing with students in class, I would definitely choose Goose Creek so they have to be logged in and they can't do anything anonymous. If it's a group of adults that you trust and you're not worried about that, you can click anyone and anyone that has this link can submit a question that you can answer. So if I were doing this lunch and learn or presentation in the style of just showing slides, I would definitely use this feature because I could have this on another screen and they could be asking questions and we could be moving through it. So I really like that feature. Okay, I'm going to X out of that. And my last must have for Google Slides is going to be an extension, an add-on. So to go to add-ons, you click extensions and you have add-ons here and you click get add-ons. I have that pathway on the page and it's going to be Pear Deck. If you work with students directly in the classroom, you're going to be very familiar with Pear Deck probably. I already have it installed. If you don't, this is how you would install it. When you go back to extensions, once any add-on is installed, you just go to that add-on. I have both pathways on the page, and then you can open the Pear Deck add-on. So what this does is you don't have to change anything with your slides. You take your slides exactly how they are, but you make it interactive. You can make it into a text slide, a multiple choice slide, a number slide. You can add a website. And right here, there's some premium features that it's showing. If you log into your @student account, you're able to access those premium features. And the link that I put on the handout for Pear Deck add-on has those specifics on what you would have to do to log in and get that. So whether this is great for students and lessons, but it's also great for a presentation that you do with adults because you can get them involved and it's very interactive. So that's a good thing. You don't have to change anything with your slides. It's just enhancing it. It also has templates and resources that are already made. So it's definitely something you can dig into there. Those are my 10 must-haves. I do want to point out something at the end of the handout. I do have links all along the way of these specific things of links and videos and Pear Deck and the different things we talked about where it gives you more specifics that you can look at. I also included a link at the very end to Google Skillshop for Google for Education. Google offers different courses that have certificates at the end that you can earn. You can finish courses, and it really is a deep dive into certain things. So if you're interested in that, I did put that link in the end, and it's for all of Google Workspace. So thank you all so much for joining today, our Google Slides must-haves.